Hi, everybody. This is Mr. Fugelsang. Today is April 1st. We got one more week until we're on spring break. Hope everybody's doing all right. We're going to go just through these slides quickly. Today's aim is how does fate play a role in Romeo and Juliet? Okay, so the agenda is we're going to go and complete your do now. Then we're going to listen to this video lecture on fate, review a scene from Act 5, and then complete today's classwork, which is a meal paragraph. We'll make it nice and short. So the do now is choose one of the following quotes from about fate from Romeo and Juliet and explain what it means. You can copy and paste one of these quotes into the answer box and then answer it. So the four quotes are a pair of star-crossed lovers. That comes right in the beginning in the prologue, right? And then the second one is I have never seen true beauty until this night. That's when Romeo sees Juliet at the party for the first time. I am Fortune's fool. That's when Mercutio and Tybalt have that battle on the street. And violent delights have violent ends. That's Friar Lawrence's words to uh, Romeo about how foolishly and quickly he's falling in love. Okay, so let's discuss how would you define fate? Fate is an impersonal force that directs one's life. Fate implies an inevitable event that is beyond one's control, some sort of supernatural power. I can't control. It's the belief that cannot control what's going to happen to me in life, that it's already predetermined. How much of life is predetermined and how much is decided by you? Fate says that it's all been predetermined. Okay, so that no matter what you do, your life will turn out the way some outside source has dictated that it will. Okay, so the big idea that we're looking at in Act 5, especially Shakespeare, constantly wants us to keep looking at this idea. He keeps bringing it up, star-crossed lovers. And then later in Act 5, Romeo talks about defying the stars, right? Defying his fate. So he wants to make it seem, or it seems like Shakespeare, or maybe the character of Romeo, wants to say, I'm not to blame for all this madness. Fate is responsible for it, right? So we're going to also look at this other big question, which is how does fate become a major factor in the events that occur in Romeo and Juliet? So some questions to consider. Are there advantages to believing that fate rules our lives? I mean, there are in some ways. I'm thinking, you know, oh, my life's going to turn out the way it's supposed to anyway, so I don't have any control over that, so I might as well do the things that I want to do, or follow my own interest, or however you want to look at it in that way. But there might be some disadvantages as well, right? Like, oh, if my life's going to turn out that way anyway, I might as well just do whatever I want to do, and maybe you'll make some bad decisions as well. Okay, so we're going to look at a quick scene. We're just going to talk about a quick scene from Act 5, um, where Romeo is waiting. Right, he's banished. He's in Mantua. He knows there's supposed to be a letter coming from Friar Lawrence, but he hasn't received this letter. Right, and the messenger, we find out, Friar John. The reason why the letter has not come is because he's caught in a quarantine and he can't get to Mantua. He's quarantined just like we are in our homes right now. Okay, this is a perfect connection to what we're experiencing right now. We can't leave our house. We can't leave our houses because in this case it was the plague. In our case it's the coronavirus. But Friar John, he couldn't even ask somebody else because that letter might have been tainted. Okay? He couldn't even ask someone else to deliver the letter. So all this happening, what happens in the meantime? Balthazar comes. He also was convinced that Juliet was dead, and he saw with his own eyes that she was laid in a tomb. So he comes before Friar John gets a chance to. He says Juliet's dead, and that springs this whole turn of events, this whole tragedy. Okay, so if this didn't happen, is this quarantine that happened to Friar John? Is it just a weird and unfortunate coincidence, or is it an instrument of fate purposely working against the couple? You can really argue this either way. Okay, you can say, and that's kind of what we're asking you to do in your meal paragraph. You know, not necessarily this scene, you can choose a different scene about what is the role of fate in this play overall. So you can choose anything from Act 5, but you're going to write a meal paragraph answering this question. Is fate responsible for the tragic turn of events in Romeo and Juliet? Okay, so it might be beneficial to choose a different one if you want to really challenge yourself. You can also use this example of Friar John, but however you feel like you can answer this question best, um, you can go about doing that. All right. Some great work from you guys this week, and continue asking questions and letting us know if you need any help. Have a great day. Bye.